funeral, we kind of got together and
Yeah.
basketball helped us really lock in. Me being a man at Gratz, you know what I mean?
No, but that was grandma's funeral. And I
Mhm.
remember you coming up and just saying, it's like, yo, you hoop, right? And all this. But I thought it was my senior year. I always thought it was a senior, but whatever it was uh it was a good time though. I mean, not the situation, but that's when we met. And then, you talked about Uncle Clarence, your pop, and my mom was real, real close. So that was one of them things, but no, that was a dope time getting to meet you. And then, like you said, later on, Cat used to always come. You gotta go down 16th Street. The cousin be down there balling. Then my pop, later on, like when you was in the college league, or no, high school league, my pop used to come home and be like, yo, your cousin could play. So let me go check this little homie out. Let me go check him out. But nah, that's how it started. Like from that, yeah.
Um, you being a crossover boy, and at the time, it seemed like that's what Philly was on. Like
Yeah.
you gotta bust a nigga ass and shake him up. And like you said, 16th Street, that joint up Germantown,
What's the Germantown?
the Hollow.
The Hollow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I seen you up. You know what I
The
mean?
Hollow. And then all the way up in Mount Airy, where I'm from, we used to play this place called Water Tower. And then Finley.
Finley.
And
I
then I
played.
used to, but my first time actually coming down, that's when I met Sean Colson, who, you know Sean. I met him down at the King Center. My pop took me down there when I was like 11 or 12. And I played in some league. It was some team tryout. So I used to be all over the place, man, playing. But yeah, the crossover was it. Coming Tim Hardaway. Oh man, Tim Hardaway and his cross, the UTEP two-step. But that was it. But I was a little taller, so it looked a little different. You know what I mean? The way I played. So yeah, that was it until I ran against some boys from Baltimore. Man, I tried to pull that crossover out, put that thing in the back. Shantae Rogers and Kevin Norris, who's at Villanova now, and I was just chopping it up with him. And yeah, that crossover ain't work on everybody.
So where that happened at? Where do you feel like they took the crossover? Was that an actual game or was that summer league?
Man, it was the Future Stars tournament
Mm-hmm.
down McGonigal, Sunny Hill League. Our
Mm-hmm.
seniors. That was
Mm-hmm.
our seniors. And
Mm-hmm.
that's when, well, it was going into my either junior year, but that was it. And they came two smaller point guards, dogs. The Baltimore squad, Dante Bright, they had a nice squad, but we had a nice squad in Philly. Man, I pulled that thing out, tucked it right back in, dog. I couldn't bring the ball up the court on them. So yeah, but it was my size. I wasn't used to playing against too many small guards and small fast guards,
Right.
but that was it. Had to tuck that thing back in.
No, you tell me about that. And me watching you play, if I remember, I don't have a memory of an NBA guard ripping you like that.
Man, a couple of them did.
You got it?
Yeah, dog.
I'm sure you, because you carry the ball so well. You know who got that
Yeah,
ball.
no, Mookie Blaylock.
He got it off you?
Mookie Blaylock stole the ball from me my rookie year. I didn't even know he stole it. He was going down the other end, laying it up. I'm still penetrating, going, and everybody going the other way. I'm like, yo, he took that thing clean off a pick and roll. And then Darryl Armstrong
He a bad
for Orlando Magic. He told me, you going to timeout. He's like, yo, young fella, I'm taking that. Man, what? Man, whatever. Right out of timeout. Same thing. He timing it the whole time. And I'm not even peeping. 1, 2,
Yeah,
2, and boom,
yeah,
picks it.
he's so quick.
Right out of there, dog.
Yeah.
Dips it back to Penny. Penny, I turn around. Penny dunk. He take it. Penny dunk on me. I said, and Jay Lawson, we was rookies. He was on Orlando Magic team at the time. I looked right at him and was like, he put his head down. I said, yeah, but no, man, you play in this game long enough, dog, no matter what, something gonna happen.
No, it's going
It's
down.
gonna happen. My
At
mom
that
used to say, you put your butt in the right place, it will be beat. Like you play,
Yeah,
playing
at that
against
level.
people.
Yeah, at that level. It's
And
going to
anywhere. You go down 16th Street. Go down there, go down McGonigal, go to 11th Street, anywhere, dog. You can get it on any given day. You know what I mean? So, but that's always the thing, especially growing up in Philly. The competitive nature with us, dog. Me and you playing. You done beat me one-on-one.
I say, huh?
The
I say, huh?
the sun shine on you that day.
I say, huh?
But I'm be honest with you.
Go
Now that we
Go ahead.
grown,
Now we on.
now
Go
we
ahead,
grown,
Go
dog.
ahead, man.
You was lacking a little confidence back then. So I was like, let little cuz breathe a little bit. Let him breathe.
Okay, to our viewers, what I want to say is he ran it back with me twice. I'm going to just tell y'all that, man.
Yeah, I mean, they say I didn't want you to think it was love.
Okay.
I mean, but we gonna check it up after this.
Okay. So what I'm thinking is like I want to talk to you about like draft day. How that feel? How that went? How was that emotion for you? What was that time like for you, knowing that you could be picked to go to the NBA? And what was that like for you, Al?
Man, that was draft day was a lot of anxiety, even though I kind of knew, and just my personality, I'm always expecting the worst, hoping for the best. So I'm expecting not to get drafted, hoping that I'm going to get drafted, expecting to get drafted maybe in the second round, hoping to get drafted in the second round, expecting, or maybe the first round might creep up. So it was just a lot of uncertainty. I didn't have a lot of workouts for no team. I only worked out for Portland, Milwaukee, and New Jersey. Come to find out, Milwaukee and New Jersey was just bringing me in playing against smaller guards to see how they would do against a bigger guard. Like I said, I was considered a big guard. So Jersey, they had Brevin Knight, had me working out against him. They really liked him. And then Milwaukee had Jock Vaughn. It's another smaller guard. But Portland was the only team that I think truly had was interested in me. So once they did it, they drafted me. But it was a tough day emotionally, but it was happy, man. You know that's my dream, dog. All I ever wanted to do was play ball.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So once that thing happened, family was there. Um, a dream came true. But I'm so green, I didn't still realize I got drafted in the second round. I didn't realize that still had to make the team.
Mm.
So getting out there, really, the work ethic and the mindset really helped me really get to where I needed to get to at that point. But that draft day was cool, man. It was cool. It was a good time. I had Jay was there. Jay and it's a lot of stories. We're gonna get into that
Hmm.
through our podcast, man.
Hmm.
There's so many stories. Cat, mom and pop. I'm crying, but it was a lot. It was a lot, but it was a good time, man.
Well, tell me that experience of finally getting drafted, and you're gonna go play with your man Rasheed Wallace, dog.
Yeah,
And Rasheed is notoriously known for whatever he known for, but that's your man,
yeah.
and you getting drafted to go play with Rasheed Wallace. What's that like, man?
No, that was dope. That was dope because we played against and with each other on different teams here in Philly. We were supposed to go to school together at Villanova, and he was doing his thing. He was just coming along, still a little pup, but she always was talented, always was a winner. So going there, we had the same agent. So when I got drafted by them, it didn't even register that she was out there. I was just happy. And then I remember going out there, his youngest son was born. So the day I went out there, I went with she to the hospital while his son, he was being born. Well, he was already born. I'm just seeing him at the hospital hanging out. And then that day, she signed his extension contract. So we
Damn.
both celebrating a bit.
Mhm.
His was just a little bit more than mine, but we was celebrating. But no, that was dope, man. I used to go over there, eat dinner over there, because I ain't know nobody else. That was the farthest I ever been away from home. I ain't know nobody else, but that whole team. But she was my main man. He held me down. He held me down. That was my man.
You tell me Rashid is your man, but over time, it seemed like that whole team was catering to you and I'm trying to make you fit in. You tell me J.R. Ryder, a good man of
Yeah,
yours.
yeah,
Stacey Augman is a good
yeah,
friend of yours.
yeah, yeah.
I just know them stories of you telling me Rashid was your man, but those older guys kind of took you under the wing
Yep.
and showed you a lot of love.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like you telling me about JR a bit.
Yeah, that's my man. That's my man. But that whole team, it was funny because later on, they labeled that team the Jailblazer. And that's how the media do, right? But I mean, they had issues. We all got issues, but that team from being authentic and being real and being a teammate, you wouldn't want a better team than that. You know what I mean? But I can understand from a coaching standpoint or exec, when you're investing in people, you want them to behave a certain way. And that's another issue. But that's on that. But as far as a teammate, JR, Stacy, Brian Grant. Brian Grant was my vet. Brian
Mhm.
Grant was the first buddy who gave me some cash. I remember a
Ah,
young fella sit right here on the bus. I was like, they starting this rookie hazing. He said, "Here, man, I hit the lot. I hit the slots or whatever the tables yesterday." He was down in Vegas for a mini camp. Gave me some bread, and after that, but polite. I played against Brian Grant when he was at Xavier, and I was at Nova my freshman year, so we kind of knew each other. But like you said, Stacy, K.A., Kenny Anderson. We had John Crotty. We had Alton Lister, him going out there, Venus Sabonis. Like, man, them dudes, man, it was unbelievable. And then again, my man Gary Trent, we got traded to Toronto together, but they all, J.R. Ryder, people have what they think about him. Tell you this, one of the best basketball players, one of the best people, a real person, dog. Like, and we just hung around each other. It wasn't much to do out there in Portland. So we just hung around each other, kicked it, and they just all showed me love. But it was all from respect. Because you know how it is. I respect everybody. I go about my business. I'm going to do what you ask me to do as a teammate, as a coach. You're going to have to respect what I do because I'm trying. And I think they just respected that. I came in there with respect, no ego, and they showed love. They catered to me.
No, I see that, and like you were saying about how you work. Me being your cousin, watching you get into the league, me being excited like a motherfucker, coming from the project, my cousin that made it to the pros. At the same time, I was happy, but you wouldn't even really get no playing time in the beginning of your career. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And how was that space from getting in there and then not being that superstar that you just was? You was just NCAA point guard 6'6". You got drafted, but now you ain't.
Yeah.
You're not the
Start
man
again.
again. Yeah,
You
you're
gotta
not.
start over.
Yeah, you're not the man again.
But that's it, man. You gotta, first of all, you gotta be humble enough. And you gotta know yourself. You gotta know yourself, know your worth. Right now, I ain't worth nothing. I gotta start improve. First of all, I gotta make the team. And then after that, I gotta show and improve every day. And that's the thing about the league. A lot of you hear a lot of people talk about they see a young kid or he a pro. Yeah, he might be talented like a pro, but
Mhm,
you not know everything that come with that, man.
mhm.
Can you sit there and say, you practice and practice and practice, and then you don't get no light in the game. Or you have a good game, and then you don't play for the next 2 weeks, and nobody say nothing to you. Can you handle that? Can you handle when you're sick and you don't feel like playing, or you hurt and you don't feel like playing, or your mom just called you and said somebody died or something happened, and you still got to go out there and play? Like that's the pro aspect of it. That's when you in your job every day. But just knowing that, like not playing, and I remember my first game, Kenny Anderson was hurt, and I thought I was the third string. It was Kenny Anderson and John Crotty. John Crotty is backing up Kenny Anderson. And I was like, yo, I'm going to play. First game, Seattle, Gary Payton. I'm nervous, though. 'Cause I was like, damn, my first game against the glove.
Mhm, mhm.
So I didn't play. I didn't get in. John Crotty might have played 48 minutes, dog. Like, I ain't play. And I remember after the game, I go to Sheed, my homie. Yo, man, my first NBA game, dog. And it's the first time I ain't never get in the game. He said, well, it ain't your first NBA game then. Good luck next time. I'm sitting there like, I ain't had no shoulder to cry on. We just sitting there. I start laughing. But right after that, how it turned around, Fats, is preparation, practicing, doing what you're doing, respect from your teammates, they supporting you, whatever. John Crotty and Kenny Anderson got hurt all in the same game.
Damn.
Ain't had no other point guard. We was playing against Minnesota, Stephon Marbury. We
Mhm.
ended up winning that game. I played well. Then after that, I was always in the game. They put me at 1 and a 2. I was getting about 25. Ended up making all rookie team, which I wasn't even projected to do that, but getting that opportunity, just being ready. But yeah, not playing at all. You got to humble yourself, man. A lot of these young people, especially now, they get in there, dog, and they be like, I'm supposed to play. Or they never been in a situation where they didn't play. So you know how it is.
No, but it's good for you to say that out loud because anybody younger that's listening, uh, pro don't mean basketball.
Nah.
Pro means how you conduct yourself off the court and everything outside of basketball. That's how you become a professional.
Yeah.
And you demonstrated that to me in many lights of life, but
Yeah.
it's good for people to hear that from a pro who
Yeah.
didn't get the shine right away
Yeah.
and had to go back in his bag and hustle a little more before you got on the court.
But
So,
that's the thing too, Fats. Like being a pro, and it's for anybody, it never turned off. Being an athlete, a professional athlete, it never turned off. It's not just when you're on the court, on the field. It's when you go down the street, somebody say something to you or look at you or record you. Like that's going to impact your salary. That's going to impact your performance. That's going to impact everything around you that sport brings. So even when you sleeping or even when you driving, you got to be responsible and you're going to be held accountable for all that. So that pro, you never turn off. Like that's why the thing is so tricky because you want a little downtime. You want to go to the movies. You want to go to the club. Or if people still go to the club, you want to party. You want to go have a drink. You want to do, but all these things you can't do all that on your time because that's what a pro athlete is. You know what I mean? So it's hard, and that's the challenge. It don't turn off, and that's a lot of people get caught up because they turn it off, and that's when they caught. You know what I mean? They forget about it. They think it's one way, it's another, dog, for real. So that's the uniqueness about it being a pro athlete.
um, so what's that like out of Portland? You got traded to Celtics. Did you play
No,
Celtics at all?
no, I got traded to Celtics later. I got traded to Toronto.
How you get Celtics and then back to Toronto?
So we don't want you.
Take it back.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I got traded my rookie year from Portland to Toronto. And then a year and a half later, I got traded from Toronto to Boston. I failed the physical, and he sent me back to Toronto. So
Mm,
that's how it happened. That's how I ended up in Toronto. So my rookie year, dog, like, and you and I know the stories, but I'm sitting there. We just played the Sixers, and I think I had like 13 points, and I had a good game. Mike Dunleavy, who was my coach, who actually showed me he was honest, transparent the whole time, even from the draft process. We like you. We really want you. We want to try to get you. They did that. Start playing me. Then, man, play the Sixers. We beat the Sixers. He like, I get to practice early. I always got to practice early. He come up to me and was like, hey, you know that we know you love Philly. We know you love hometown. It's gonna be an opportunity for you to go back home to play. But just realize in this league, it's always important to have a coach that believes in you and have ownership that believes in you that can pay you. At that time, it was Paul Allen,
mhm,
Microsoft,
mhm.
like so they had the bread. The coach believed in me. And I told him, I said, Coach, I don't want to go nowhere. I'm loving it. I love my teammates. I'm cool out here. I'm getting some opportunity. I'm playing. Everything going good. I got traded a couple days later. Traded me a couple days later, dog. And it was me and Rick Brunson. The way I found out too, I was going to get a beeper, turn the beeper on, and the lady came from the back and say, Alvin Williams, you just got traded. Me and Rick Brunson was together. And then I went to Toronto. And then Toronto, that's when the story, starts.
So first bucket and first time you thought you done something nice on the court.
I can't remember my first bucket, dog. I can't remember it. I don't know, but
When you think you done something nice going, when did you say, yeah, Al, I can do this shit right here. I'm nice.
you know what's crazy? I was having real good practices. Like training camp, I was I was doing well. But the first day, my introduction to the league was J.R. Ryder. He was killing me. Couldn't stick him. Strongest man I ever felt, like strong. And that let me know like I'm in a grown man league. Because I did 4 years in college. So by the time I leave, I'm one of the stronger guys playing against. I'm bullying freshmen, sophomore. Like I know the ropes. But that day, he showed me it's a big difference. But I think remember just it's a lot of things, dog. It's every day. I remember calling back home and saying, "Yo, I'm playing against Kenny Anderson. He all right." And KA was the deal. I was
Hmm.
like, "He all right." I didn't even peep in training camp and practice. Nobody go hard. I'm the only one going hard in this joint, dog. I'm going hard like my life depend on it. But they sitting there, and I saw Kenny Anderson first time he played, and that ain't the same KA. That ain't who
That
I'm.
ain't practice.
Yeah, that
That
ain't
ain't practice
practice.
Candy
So
Anderson.
I start realizing you can't be like no false thoughts, man, because they not playing the same way in practice that they playing in the game. So it's hard for me to really say I can do something. But I will say this: Dennis Scott, playing for Orlando Magic, he came up to me, man, and we had a mutual friend, guy Reggie Kitchen, who really trained me, helped me, and from beginning, and he's been there. And he also did the same for Dennis Scott down in Virginia and Grant Hill. So he had these relationships, Sharif Abdul Rahim. So Dennis Scott comes up to me because Reggie Kitchen, come to find out, told him to come talk to me because I wasn't playing. And he was like, yo, man, you can play in this league. He said, I watched you in college. You can play in this league. And I remember him walking away, and I was like, damn. Dennis Scott just hollered at me. It wasn't even no action. It was just words that came from somebody that I looked up to or saw get busy. And he was the one. He was the first one, man. Outside of my teammates always encouraging me, but another opponent,
Oh yeah,
and
another
he was
pro.
sitting there. I'm looking at, damn, man. So that was. I remember another time Shaq came up to me. He's like, yo, man, why you ain't play? I said, I just didn't play. He said, yo, keep your head up. You got game. And that was it. Like when you're in the game, you know the politics of the sport and the ups and downs of it. But the players that's in there, they know. So a lot of the players, they gave me a lot of love early on.
Um, I mean, I just we can switch gears, but I wanted to talk to you about 16th Street,
Mhm.
right? I mean, I remember coming out there and you come into that playground almost was like a star is coming, everybody rushing to the court. I was gonna play. And not a lot of pros want to put themselves in that environment.
Mhm.
16th Street ain't the best place to be
Right.
unless you really, really into into the fabric of Philly. Then
Right.
all right, you good to play down there. But you coming from up there and people expecting you to get out there and show out. What's that like for you, man? How
No,
that
it was
feel?
dope. It's all like we all come from the playground aspect, whether it's 16th Street, like I said, water top, playing outside, no rules, your own rules. You politic and you police your own games, and everybody you get it on. But 16th Street became so popular, especially at that time, like the schoolyard, the all the and one stuff, and like just playground. They start really mainstreaming it. Like people really start paying attention to it. But it's always been the fabric. But 16th Street got so popular all over the city that's something you had to visit. And I ain't had no good games down there. I ain't play good down there. The crowd was there, the energy was there. But it was just something to come down there. Like I would go to McGonagall Hall games, college league games, and then run down there and play. You know what I mean? Do that. So that was always, but Cat was always, you know what I mean, go down there. And I was on this, I was like, man, I ain't going down there. I ain't playing. I go down there and watch. And then you get down there, you're like, hold on, man. Let me get some sneaks. Somebody
Yeah,
give me some
fuck this.
sneaks.
This shit is
But no, it was
popping.
dope, man. Like, but I mean, I think again, when you and I connect, that's that environment. That's that understanding. That's that connection that I understand that. You can understand the NBA floor and I can go there and then we connect. Like that was the thing. But 16th Street, man, that was all that, dog. That was how people got together. And again, it's good to see the popularity. It's good to see people getting shine from that. And that was a big movement in our city.
Hmm.
What's your take on it?
I mean, 16th Street. I mean,
That was your church.
I mean, I happened to win an MVP down there. You know what I mean? 16. It was an 18 and under All Star game, and I might have had like 8 dunks.
Mhm.
And in the same game, I played in the young boy game and then the older game. I won MVP for the young boy game, and a good friend of mine won the MVP for the big boy game, Sad Eyes.
Okay.
So it was a huge moment for me being in the streets, trying to think I can play basketball a little bit, and then realizing you can play a little bit, especially if you can be tough enough to play down 16th
Yeah.
Street. And I got that MVP, and he got the MVP, and he just made me feel so like you nice, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that was just, it's tough to be good down 16th Street, like,
Mhm.
because everybody's tough. Tough guys come play tough basketball
Yep.
down that moment.
Yep.
So getting the MVP as a kid and being from the projects 6, 7 blocks away from there and walking home with that trophy.
You still got that trophy?
I do got the trophy, but I tell y'all the truth, when I got home with the trophy, my mom said, take the trash out and go clean the bathroom.
You already know, dog. And that's the thing now too, right? I look at parents and I look at leadership. They put these kids on a pedestal so early in their lives and their careers for whatever reason. I don't know if they see the long run. I don't know if they see the money. I don't know if they like the fame. But our parents ain't give a crap about what like
Your 50-point night.
my first 2 years and I lived at home. I'm still taking my dad to the train station. I'm taking my mom, like I'm picking them up. I still got responsibilities. And I'm a grown man. I'm living at home. So they don't care about that. Where I see now, a lot of these kids, they don't really follow the pecking order. A lot of these kids is running the household. So damn that MVP trophy down 16th Street, or damn that contract you got for the Portland Trailblazers. You got responsibilities in this household. You know what I mean? To us. So that's dope though. But then no, it was always knowing how popular 16th Street was and knowing how tough it was down there, and then hearing your success down there, and then seeing your success, and then seeing people get busy down there, and then me going down there and oh, this ain't sweet. Like, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Like for a while, I had stopped playing outside because my
Mhm,
knees
mhm,
got.
mhm, mhm.
So I was like, man, I can't really play outside. And then I'm playing in these gyms so much, it was a whole different environment. So no, it was dope. It was dope. It's a good, like you said, that's the fabric. That's the
That's
fabric of the
fabric
city,
right there.
man. That's what the makeup is.
Mhm.
Hey,
'Cause you gotta really have some game down there, yo. like you said, you got Sean Colston, you got Sad Odds, you got AL, you got motherfuckers that can play down
Yeah,
that motherfucker.
yeah,
Hot Rod, you know what I mean? You got some motherfuckers that can ball. And at the end of the game, what I liked about 16, whether you was from Crosstown, South Philly, North Philly, end of the game, we all gonna smoke, drink, and have some fun
yeah,
together. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
never really no trouble out there
I
that
got
much.
up out of there. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean,
Yeah,
I know.
I got up out of there. I got back. I got back home, but no, like you said, dog. And that be the. It's like anything else, dog. When you finish playing, I don't care what level you finish playing or you play at. What you miss most is that camaraderie, dog. The games is gonna be the games. How good you are, how much time you get. But when you finish playing, dog, whether you at Gratz going to Vegas or Florida or you any 16th Street, after the game, and it just the camaraderie, dog, that chemistry, having a good time, eating, drinking, doing whatever you're doing. That's what you miss, dog.
Mhm.
Because once that leave, that's it. That's it. So yeah, it don't matter where you at, what you play for.
So I'm gonna ask you about
What you asking me,
give
dog?
me give me some of the guys that gave you a good battle when you playing against. Who a tough matchup for you in the pros?
In the pros,
Yeah,
everybody.
that's the right answer, man.
Hey, dog, it ain't no like. So let me take me for example. I wasn't no star. I wasn't. I would say I would put myself just from the outlook of a career, like like a mid player, mid level player. I think I was much better than that at any time. I can go and do
Mid.
certain things,
Okay, okay.
but I was also somebody that you had to respect,
Oh, for
like in
sure.
and out the game. But it's guys, for me, dog, you take the AIs out because
You
that's a
do it to
fixture.
everybody, right? That's it.
Same, but this dude, Baron Davis, dog. Baron Davis was the toughest because he was athletic, he was strong, he was big, and he ain't had no weaknesses. Like he ain't have any weaknesses in his game, but he was one of those dogs. Like he was a dog, and when he really got his thing going, handling the bip bop, shooting from anywhere, alley oop dunk, you had to pay back attention to him. He catch back door dunk on you. Defensively, when he wanted to lock in, he was dope. But man, Earl Boykins, you talk about Earl,
Oh
you
man.
seen it,
Oh
Tony
man.
Parker,
Oh man.
and one day Vince he sent me all these pictures, dog. I don't know where he got all these pictures from. And he was like, yo, you played against some good guards. And I was like, damn, I did. From John Stockton all the way up to Gilbert Arenas, like everybody, dog. Like, so I can't name one person, but the people that come to mind right away is BD. BD was a monster. AI, of course. Steve Francis, Terrell, Brandon, Chauncey. But I can go forever, dog. Like Andre Miller.
Stop.
Andre Miller, you know what I mean? Damon Stoudemire. Yeah, it was a time where it was no nights off. I remember had 3 games. I think scored 90 points on me in 3 games. Played against Sam Cassell, Stephon Marbury, and Baron Davis in 1 week. They all had 30, at least. They all had 30, dog. I said, hold up, man. Sam Cassell, 2 S's, 2 L's, man, monster, dog. But all in 1 week, dog. And I remember we played Steph and them on a Friday. Oh no, maybe a Sunday, and played Tuesday, Friday, Sunday.
hmm
All had 30 piece, at least a 30 piece.
Um,
So I can't give you one, dog.
no, that's respect because me being me getting the opportunity to move up there with you, live with you, and watch you play ball that much. That's about right. Cause every goddamn night at that point guard spot,
Yeah,
that's a job, man.
yeah.
That's a real live job. And like me having to watch you guard Earl Boykins, it was insane. And Tony
But you
Parker.
was classless though, because all I know is I hear Boykins
I
from the
was,
crowd, dog, from your cousin.
I'm saying it with a question mark. Like, damn, is it Boykins doing this?
Hey, dog.
So me watching you, even Jason Kidd was, like you played a lot of good guards, man. A
Man,
lot
Jason
of them.
Kidd was a monster. Gary Payton. But like I said, all of them, dog. I can't. And like I said, being the guy that was a mid guy that I wasn't going to be the guy that, all right, you come score on me, then I'm gonna go at you. So I I gotta pick and choose my spots.
Right.
I mean, I know you're gonna keep coming at me.
Right. Right.
So now let me get the ball at Vince, which that's my role.
Right.
But if it was a situation where I could be like, all right, let me get back at him. Now I can really see, like, all right, he was all right. He was good offensively, but defensively, he couldn't do nothing with me. Like stuff like that. But being that player that was like, all right, this is my role, and I gotta guard these dudes. They all were tough, man. And then, like you said, guys coming off the bench. That's another thing. I talk about Darrell Armstrong. Darrell Armstrong pick you up defense, hit the jump shot. He athletic, just played with a lot of energy. So, I mean, those things. But you was talking about something just to transition a bit. When you talking about we moved to Toronto, what was that experience? You moving from North Philly, and you've been around though, because you didn't travel, which I want to talk about too. But going to another country and the circumstances you went, what was that like?
Shout out to Toronto. Shout out to Canada because on some real shit, that was like the first place I never felt racism.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like somebody would ask me, "What are you?" And I say, "I'm black." And they said, "What kind of black?" I never heard that
Yeah,
terminology. And they say,
yeah.
"Are you Nigerian or are you um, Jamaican or are you Caribbean?" Like, and I just took me back. Like, damn, it wasn't ever made me feel like I was looked down. I was looked across even. You know what
Right,
I mean?
right.
And so that in itself was cool. But then getting to go up there with an NBA player, your cousin, somebody you look up to, admire. Uh, I couldn't put it in words because it was like I was hitting the lottery. I was going to the NBA with you. It was everything I thought I would want from that opportunity that you got.
Mm-hmm.
Like, damn, I ain't going pro, but at least I get to be with my cousin. And then I get up there and you treat me the way you treat me. Here go a
Mm-hmm.
brand new car. Here go a bag full of money and stay out of trouble. You know what I mean? That's all you ask me. Just stay
Yep.
out of trouble and put me in a hotel. I'm in a 5-star hotel. And Al said, look, man, just sign your name on the joint.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm buying Cristal and shit I would never buy on my own money. You know what I
Yep.
mean? I'm just doing so much because the love you gave me and the way you let like, go ahead, just don't get in trouble. That was one of the highlights of my life that just, even now, I got to say thank you, man.
No,
You know what I mean?
man.
Straight up, dog. Because we're going to get into like how many people got a chance like you. Don't look out for no motherfucking body.
Right.
They get funny style. How many times we done seen that shit?
Mm-hmm.
We know a lot of those guys that made pro money.
Yeah.
And even with me and you, if we can get into it, like friends be pocket watching,
Mm-hmm.
which is just not acceptable, right? Well, I think people go wrong with the NBA relationship is they watch what you do with your money and feel if he can waste that much that way, what the fuck am I? You know?
Mm-hmm.
And I had a friend who hang with a rapper. I won't get into that, his names, but he was a good hustler and he stopped hustling to hang with a rapper. And I said to him, my cousin at some point wouldn't give me money. He would always give me money, but at some point he said, no, I don't have it. And if you didn't cut me off, it wouldn't allow me to be the person I am.
Mm-hmm.
It was pacifying me from my skills. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Here, 10,000, here, fast, 20,000. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's making my game dull. I thought you knew how to get money. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I say that to say, like, if somebody's doing their thing and they fortunate enough to get around a pro, keep doing your thing.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? And that relationship would be a lot better. It turns a bit jaded when you relying on this person to help you continue your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Instead, continue your life and accept whatever this person can do for you and be appreciative of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm glad we went through all we went through because being your little cousin, I felt like it was. You just give me anything for a
Mm-hmm.
while. Hey, motherfucker, have it. What else you want? You
Yep.
want a new car? Let's go get you another new car.
Yep.
And that was a spoiling feeling. And then who am I to know when it's gotten cut off or
Right.
when I'll like, all right, look, man, there's enough of this shit.
Right.
Well, you never made me feel like that, but I feel like you doing that to me
Yeah.
let me be as good as I could be.
Yep.
Like, nigga, you can swim. Fuck, I keep holding you to swim in this. Go ahead. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So I say that to say, like, if you doing your thing out here and you happen to be fortunate enough to get around a pro, keep doing your thing and appreciate anything that person does
Yeah.
for you.
Nah, it's funny, man. The whole dynamic with that, and we're gonna definitely tap into that because that's a lot of perception, but it's the reality of our relationship and a lot of people's relationships that got to deal with it. Because being a former athlete, being an athlete, former athlete, a lot of the same people had the same
Dynamic.
situations. And one thing that we were always taught coming in as a rookies was like, yo, you got to learn when to say no. Easiest word to spell, hardest word to say, especially as around. So even our dynamic, and I don't know if you remember, but I remember when I first asked you, like, yo, come out to Toronto, dog. We were sitting there, you explaining some things to me, and we was over my crib. We was just sitting there playing a video game, talking, and you was telling me what's going on. And you telling me, I said, yo, just come out to Toronto. And it was a lot of pushback from my side. My mom, coming from where you come from the heart of the projects. I come from where I come from, and I'm in a place in my life where I'm like, everybody like, you over there. Why go back there? And not even to know, I guess, looking down on you or anybody from that community or that the projects or the hood or whatever, but it's more like we want to protect you from that, which that wasn't ever the case. I'm taking care of who I feel I want to take care of, help out, be with, all that. So with that dynamic, even going all the way from there to where we ended up and where we are, it's like we had to go through some conversations. We had to go through some moments. Had to be pissed off at each other, not speak, get back together. But I know from my side, I wish I had the ability, I wish I had the know-how to even put things in place. So it wouldn't just be feeling like a handout. It wouldn't be like, "Are you cool?" It wasn't until when I used to go, you remember I used to go to on the road. I come back with 2 sneaks, whatever I got you, da da da. And I would come, my per diem money here. And then one day you was just like, dog, I don't need your money. I got my own money. And that right there let me know, all right, this is a different thing. And others won't even understand. Everybody from outside, you took care of him. You brought him there. Anything you had, you ain't never getting none on your own. Nothing. So even when I think back to that, having that feeling, that's a fucked up feeling where everybody think I'm just getting it from somebody else and I'm not doing nothing on my own. Which they don't know the days you sitting up there drawing your hood gear, your brand, your own clothing line that you doing. And I see it. But that's something we definitely going to tap into, man, because that's a real dynamic. And it's not just one-sided. It's not one-sided or one person just using somebody. It's another side where somebody had the resources but don't know how to exercise those tools to use those resources so everybody can eat. That's why I take my hat off and he faced a lot of criticism like a LeBron James. And his people did the work and everything, but he has a unit, the people that he knew that he put in position because of his talent, but they did the work too as well. But that's something collectively that they did together. And I wish that a lot of us had that know-how or that support system that be like, all right, this is how you put things in place for Fats to do this. Or Al, this is how you can still get something from this. Make it a responsible way of working together. You know what I mean? And work together more. So yeah, we
No.
gonna tap into that
Yeah,
because
we
that's
will. Yeah, we will. Because that's a cool segment in our life of, like you said, me feeling like um people think you're just giving me everything.
yeah,
And where your wallet was open to me.
yeah,
But nobody know Fats is his own man, and Fats been getting money on his own. Like, he don't ask me, but I'm driving your cars, I'm living in Canada. Everybody think,
mhm.
I'll just give him Fats the whole world, which at some point in my life, I just,
But that's the narrative. You know
and
what I
that was,
mean?
yeah,
That's the narrative,
that
and
wasn't cool, man.
because you know what a lot of people didn't know? The nights we would sit up and just had conversations and you being 100% honest with me and having these conversations that I would never have with nobody else. Or when my surgeries, when you wake up 6 in the morning and take me to rehab, like those things, it was never no just give, give, give. It was an understanding. And like I said, I faced a lot of, as a kid, it used to be hot when you first moved. She wanted to move there.
Mhm,
Right.
mhm.
And we had those discussions like, nah, let's hold off a little bit. Next thing you know, before I know it, you living there before my girlfriend at the time was living. You know what I mean? My parents, like, so, and my mom mostly was, what I mean, that was the deeper relationship, but it was like all those things and dealing with those conversations and dealing with those attitudes and those relationships. I'm sitting here like, it's a lot of times where I had to just sit back and reflect and think about certain things. And it was a bit of, but again, I'm excited to talk about those type of things because that's it right there. That's it.
Mm, okay, so let's talk. I mean, we can get into this money if you want.
I ain't got no money.
No, I'm just saying. I'm trying to hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. All right, so let's talk about the style of play.
Of
How the NBA changed from your style back in the day to like we just talked about pick and roll, or is
Mhm.
it pick and pop
Yeah,
today?
yeah, yeah. It's both, but both have different purposes now. You pick and roll, and you're just picking to attack the rim to open up a 3-point shot in the corner. So somebody rolling to that basket, somebody got to collapse in. As soon as they collapse in, that three ball, pick and pop. It's the three ball, make a rotation. So it's all about how to manipulate the defense. But the game is just different in so many ways. It's less physical. I won't say it's more athletic,
Is
but I
it more
think
speed?
it's definitely more
More
speed.
speed.
It's more speed. It's more body movement, ball movement. Back in the day, you get a ball of AI, get a ball of Jordan, get a ball of Kobe, and watch out. Or get a ball of Shaq, get a ball of Barkley, watch out. And then everybody space it out, cut, dive, whatever. Now it's pass, moves, set screens, dribble, handoff, and all five guys out there on the floor most likely can shoot the ball or have some type of offensive threats. It's times where you playing and it's only two guys out there can actually score, but everybody else could do something really good, whether it's screen setting, whether it's a rebound, something like that, right? So the game is just real. It's much different. It's much faster. It's faster, dog, and you just see it. You go out there on that court and you just see these young guys moving, how they running around. A lot of mileage is built, made up on that court, but it's still and to the young players' credit, it's getting more physical too. It's getting a little bit more physical, especially in the playoffs. So you see this past year, people getting playoffs, and you starting to see these guys get hurt too. The game is so fast that these guys, I don't know, I'm not no doctor. I'm not sure if they're conditioning themselves to play that style of play for that long.
Hmm.
It's fat. It's like college, dog. It's like playing in college again.
When you say fast to me, right? I think Allen Iverson fast, but then I look at Steph Curry fast.
Mm-hmm.
Two different fasts. But I would think or say out loud, Steph Curry plays faster than Allen Iverson.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a nod at Allen Iverson,
Mm-hmm.
but his style of play of giving the ball up, taking a guy around for a mile, and then trying to get it back.
Yeah.
He put more into it than Allen would. Allen would probably break you down, get to the hole, throw it up. Cool.
Yep.
Steph's speed is I don't want to say he's the one I think of when I think of speed, but he makes me realize how much the game changed and
Yeah.
his impact on using his speed, not his height,
Yeah.
his curves and turning and cutting. It seemed like the game got more intelligent. It's not just like you said, get a ball to Barkley, wait around for 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Kerr implemented like a system of intelligence, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Where Draymond Green could be the star with 5 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists, and he was the star of the game.
Right. Right.
Even if Curry had 30 or Clay had Dre. So I think the intelligence has really grown up with these coaches, on the pop. But I feel like a lot of intelligence has went into the sport. And you definitely see it in the playoffs. And
Yeah.
definitely a shout out to Steph, because I think Steph implements intelligence.
Yeah.
I think Jordan did it too. Jordan
Yeah.
always could play really good without the ball.
Yeah.
He could play good with it, but he could use picks, use screen, catch you lacking backdoor.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of being Allen Iverson, come down, give me the ball, kids need to see more of that game. Like, you don't need the ball to be the star all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
You could do something else out here, kid.
Yeah.
Draymond don't even need the ball.
Yeah.
And he a fucking starting guard. I mean, you know what I mean? So the intelligences went up for everybody because I don't think coaches recognized Draymond Green back then.
Yeah. Draymond Green, and I don't want to say that because he's all that, but it'd be tough for him
Back
to
then.
play, yeah, because what the game wasn't like that, but at his size, he's he's not a Barkley who was an undersized, but he's not athletic. He's not like that. He's not right. He's a smaller frame guy, dog, and what he does, the physicality and the awareness and his skill set, ball handling, passing, it's just something. It's a different generation. But to your point, I won't say it's more intelligent. It's more. I think it's more complementary, where players are playing off of one another. Not like now, it's like a lot of read and react. I see you gonna go that way. I'm gonna go this way. We're not gonna get clogged up. We're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do that. Where before I get the ball to Jordan. I'm gonna keep giving him the ball ever until you stop him. That's intelligent. Like that's the way you play, right? But
Mhm.
now I might give you the ball and you score, and I might give him the ball, he score. I take the ball, I miss, but it's no circle, it's no line of, it's no pecking order of Steph, you the man, you gonna get
40.
40 shots.
Right.
This boy over here, he might get 13 shots and play 16 minutes. But that's the way the game is being played now. Now, again, the ball is going to find the best players. When you playing with good players, everybody know the ball is going to find you. But to your point, the game is different. There is a higher IQ across the board, I think, because now if you look, a lot of the teams and the way the game is played, they don't have a position. It's positionless basketball.
Today, correct,
So
correct.
before you say a power forward, power forward not supposed to shoot. Power forward is supposed to be the athletic, defensive, goon. Center, you play through him. Two guard, he's the outside shooter. Point guard, he just set the table. But now, without the positionless, Steph Curry might be getting the most shots, but he's the point guard. That was never the case back then. Mo Cheeks would never have more shots than Dr. J.
Right,
Right? You know what I mean? So the game, the position, and all that has changed. But at the same time, it's evolved. Like anything else, it's just evolved. And it's just harder sometimes for older people to accept it because of the style of play is so different.
I think like Bruce Bowen,
Mm-hmm.
um, I think today game is identifying that player value much more than they did back then, is what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say about Draymond.
Yeah.
Not taking a shot at him and nothing.
Yeah.
But back then they didn't realize how important Bruce Bowen was, and he is fucking all defensive player. He the
Yeah.
man, but
Yeah.
it seemed like the league has grown to make sure Bruce Bowen is a superstar now.
He's his down. He's a defensive mindset. He knows his role.
And I think what I mean is like
Mm-hmm.
today Draymond would go a lot higher in the draft.
Yeah. Yeah. If you look at him,
Today he would go a lot higher than what he
Yeah.
did at his time
second round.
because they wasn't educated to know how valuable that thing was to basketball versus trying to get a Curry or a Clay
Yeah.
or, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's what made me say the word intelligent. It's like y'all realizing this guy, he a little more than what the fuck we
Yeah.
thought. You know what I mean?
He's fitting the mold, and now you're going to start looking for players like a Draymond
That's
Green
that's what's happening.
because the league and all these leagues, sports leagues, they copycat leagues. So they've seen the success of a Golden State. So they're gonna try to copy it. They're gonna look for the next Steph Curry. They're gonna look for the next Draymond. They're gonna look for the next Klay Thompson. They're gonna look for all these people to try to fit that mold. But again, it ain't one size fit all. You gotta find somebody that may be a second round player like a Draymond Green and put him in a situation where, oh, he's gonna play defense too. He's gonna play the biggest guy. Oh, he can rebound and push the ball where Steph and those guys don't have to come back and forth. So that was a perfect storm. Now, Draymond Green is going to be who Draymond Green is. But if he don't have those pieces around him, will he have the same winning success? You might not know, but he's still going to be the same player.
Mhm,
And then hopefully his value of his role will still remain high. But his
mhm,
value is so high now because it translates into winning.
mhm,
It wins. And no
mhm.
matter what he does from an emotional standpoint, he comes out there, you know what you're going to get from an effort standpoint and a skill standpoint. So yeah, man. But hey, we've been here for almost 2 hours, and
We was already 2 hours. We 50 minutes in.
oh, oh, on 50. Hey, it ain't bad.
I mean, we could pause it.
But that's I think for us putting this platform together, man, and the direction that we're gonna go with real conversation, talk hoops, talk family, talk finances, talk relationships, talk our backgrounds. Because I want to dive in more with you. Like you got a hell of a story, an interesting story, and how you move and how you've been moving, and just tapping in with that. Because again, our story we ain't got a unique story, but we definitely got a special story. You know what I mean? I think we need to highlight all those things, man.
I'm right there with you, blood. It's just it's good to talk back and forth with you about basketball. When you said something, I was
But you
going
don't
to
really don't be knowing ball like that though.
That's what I was about to say to you, right?
Like real quick,
What's I about to say to you? That
how you like Ben Simmons?
I don't want to get into that right now, man.
Uh,
I just want to get into this, man. And I don't need your serious opinion on this. I tell people running an NBA, having a successful NBA team
Mhm.
is like running a restaurant. You need a waiter, you need a chef, you need a cook, you need somebody to sit the people, you need somebody to wash the dishes. You can't be a successful restaurant with 3 cooks. You know what I mean?
Mhm,
Somebody gotta serve the food. Somebody gotta and I think when you see this super team thing happening,
mhm,
I think they think that's the ingredient where I think Boston showed different, and I think Golden State showed different that it's not just LeBron, 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 LeBron. That's not how it goes no more.
mhm,
You need somebody to serve the dishes. You
mhm.
need somebody to wash the dishes. You need somebody to cook the food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's a winning strategy for organizations instead of, I mean, I guess you got to take what you get the way it's given out with draft players and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But I think you guys need to more so decorate the team instead of just trying to have a one trick pony.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But you're 100% right. But a lot of times when you're exec of a team and ownership, it's not always about winning sometimes. It's about getting that name that's going to fill the seats. And with this revenue, now, of course, winning is going to bring that as well. But if I want a quick fix, if I'm the Charlotte Hornets right now and I want a quick fix, yeah, I'm gonna go out and get LeBron James. Like, is he gonna help me win? Nah, not at this stage of his life. But the name, he's gonna put some seats. It's gonna put some butts in the seat. So it's different reasons why you see the different outcomes with teams. But to your point, 100% in today's game, it's not just 3 names. They used to say the big 3 and put that. No, it doesn't work like that unless you can find 3 top tier players that's going to sacrifice their game. Everybody can't have the basketball. You can't be how Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and James Harden. All 3 of those guys need the ball. Who else is going to bring something different to the table at a high level? So you talk about LeBron James when he first went over to Miami. LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh.
Chris Bosh, your man, by the way.
Love
Shout out
Chris
to
Bosh.
Chris, man.
Love Chris Bosh.
Shout out to Chris.
But if it wasn't for Chris Bosh, who was getting double doubles in Toronto, an all star, the go to guy, if he didn't say, you know what, I'm gonna be the defensive guy, I'm gonna be the spacer. I may not get one post up or one mid range opportunity. It might all be pick and pops. I gotta shoot the jump shot. Or if it wasn't for Kevin Love, you know what? I'm not gonna be the same guy in Minnesota.
Hmm.
I gotta be the rebounder. I gotta be the person that can space out the floor to give LeBron and Kyrie some space. So if you don't have players like that, then your team ain't gonna work. And then guess what? Even that Miami team, they had to figure it out. They had to go get a Ray Allen, a Shane Battier, a Mike Miller. They had to get some more shooting. They had to get Chalmers and these guys like that. So, what I mean? It's difficult putting these teams together. And again, you take another example: Bradley Bill, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant. They all need the ball in their hands.
Hmm.
So you're not gonna put these 3 names and these people, they got game, but it's not gonna work in today's NBA.
Right.
It just because
Right.
first of all, these young boys, they don't care who you are.
No.
They right at your neck.
No.
Anthony Edwards, he
Right.
don't care who
Right.
you are.
Right.
He right at your neck. I
Right.
don't care your name. You bring your game.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So the mindset is different. But you're 100% right, man. I'm about to send your resume in and you get you a little front office gig.
No, but
You know what
check
I mean?
game, right? Check game. You were saying about filling the seats. Uh, what's that like playing with a Vince Carter, far as filling the seats?
Man, it was nothing like it. Like, I was dope playing with VC. Because not much was expected at first when he first got there. And as soon as he stepped on the court, it was like, oh shucks, this different. I done played at Villanova, the
Kerry
Carrier
King.
Dome, Kerry Kittles, who was the
The
man,
man.
and the games with Carrier Dome, we get 25,000, 23,000. Here, Spectrum then, Wachovia, whatever was it back then, we would get 18, 19,000, sell it out, Villanova crowd, play Duke, all these. But when you play an NBA game and you got a mega star out there, oh man. And Vince showed up and showed out every night.
Oh God.
Like every night, dog. And it was just like I seen babies, women, people crying, go to the bus. I never seen that like that. And then again, we had a whole country.
Mhm.
So the whole country was behind. His name was Air Canada. So it was something different, man. And just to seeing the way he did it, and the way you start seeing, oh, I got him. And he doing the same thing to you they didn't did to the boy the other day. Yeah, I got it. Just make him go. Couldn't. Now he gonna fade away off 1 foot, Jay from deep, dunk on you. It was amazing. It was amazing to witness that time. And Toronto was just getting on. He put us on the map. They was just getting there. And for him to do what he did night in and night out, man, that thing was crazy. And on the road, we used to go to the Staples Center. Everybody coming out. No, he's bringing it. Like when you got a teammate that can bring the stars out, New York, LA, Miami, he's bringing the stars out. People are checking out like Toronto's in town. And just being on that team, man, I'm just, hey, man, give me the popcorn, man. I'm ready to watch.
I mean, I got the memory of me being at the game in Toronto when he done the reverse 360 dunk in the game. And I thought to myself, that's more than worth than the price of admission.
Yeah, yeah,
That was a sick ass move to
yeah,
do in
dog.
the middle of a game. I couldn't believe it.
Other teams just be like, yo, man, you see this every day in practice? Like other teams, players was amazed, dog. Like they was starstruck. And it was times where Vince used to come and they used to clear out to see what he was going to do or not be embarrassed. It was just crazy the way he started impacting the game. He started having a little bit of injuries and then politics of pro sports. And if it can happen to him, it can happen to anybody. That's why when you talk about me not playing and all, I ain't tripping because I didn't seen it happen to people I looked up to, people I played with. It's the part of the game, the pro sports. But Vince he was on a different level. I went from a time where he first got to the team, we could go to the mall together, so I couldn't go down the street with him. Like
Tight.
it was just crazy. So yeah, shout out to VC. We
Shout
definitely
out
gonna
to
tap
Vince.
in with
Yeah,
him.
we definitely talk about Vince. That's a good nigga there, man. But I mean, it's up to you. We can still get some
Yeah,
more.
man. I mean, I thought it was longer than 50 minutes, but we good.
Yeah, because now they got something to work with, right?
Yeah.
You think you got a lot? But you're saying right now we doing what we doing? The game change?
Game change. You talked about the game changing a bit, but then just want to tap in a little bit about you. This ain't all about me. It's about you too. So we rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, tell me who Fats is, man. Tell me Fats. Who's Fats?
Fats from down the way. Fats look out for a lot of people, man.
Mm-hmm.
Fats in the hood. I take care of everybody, man. I'm the guy the whole neighborhood feels okay coming to for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Even kids, like 4 or 5-year-old kids, they feel safe enough to come and tell me they hungry. You know what I mean? Parents can feel comfortable enough to tell me they ain't got rent money. A guy can tell me he need new sneaks because he's trying to get a new girl. And they all know that's Fats. If Fats got it, it's probably going to go through. You know what I mean? And I get that behavior come from where I'm from, where I'm from an area where you could borrow a cup of sugar, a slice of bread, some butter,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't looked or frowned upon. You say, tell your mom I need 2 eggs, a cup of sugar, and somebody will make sure you had that, and you wouldn't have to hear. You just pay it back when you get your food stamps. You know what I mean?
Right.
But once I became of age and I was able to get some paper up under me, always thought and felt to pay it back like that. Always leave my pockets open because I'm that kid that don't have it like that. And when I threw my basketball camp, not to get off subject, but I threw the camp, and the camp had got so crowded that the staff was saying, hey, Fats, you got to charge these kids. There's just too many of them now. You're feeding 100 kids on your own dime.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, Fats, you should charge. And I said, I would be the kid that couldn't come. You know what I mean? I just couldn't charge these kids. And that's Fats, if I'm trying to explain Fats.
Yep.
That's a real poor kid. Fats is really, really poor. But seeing enough given to him from the other people that was poor too, it still would help Fats out. And they didn't have much, you know what I mean? And so when I finally got on my feet, and Lord forbid when you pick me up, I just always thought to open my pocket and look out for the hood because that's what it's all worth for me coming up in the projects. Your neighbors and everybody around you pitch in for all of us to try to do a thing, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And I feel like once I got the ball, that was something I wanted to do in life. Just, you know what I mean? Have enough money, I can look out for everybody.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Who was your Fats? If you had one, did you have a Fats that you could go to at any time and could be that person that helpful, that lending, whatever you needed?
If I had to give props to somebody other than you, I gotta give props to Sad Eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Sad Eyes has just shown me a tremendous amount of love at a really young age when he was at the height of being himself, basketball included. He was just like the best Michael Jordan in the streets ever had. And I told you we won the MVP the same time, and he started pulling up to my gym and telling me how to shoot, and he just started spending time with me. But he realized he said, "What you doing down here?" I said, "I live in the projects." He said, "Well, I live on 30th Street," and he said, "All right, I got you." And he would go in his pocket for me and just always like put money down, but not only money, he was putting down game. He would spend an hour or two with me, put him in a car with him, and drive around with him, and let people know I was this guy too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if I had to give some props outside of you, I have to definitely say Sad Eyes was Fats to me with an open pocket, with no feeling to it when I left him.
Right.
I ain't feel like I owed him anything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I was like, damn, dude got love for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And his story was told me like, Sad told me at one point in his life, because I would always say, why you ain't go to NBA and all this kind of thing. And he said at some point in high school, he used to sleep in his house with a coat on. And when I heard that, I really felt how much he felt in me that I'm from the poor projects, poor probably than what he was. And now he doing well. And he seen I was playing ball. I'm at Gratz. I'm doing the right things. You know what I mean? Trying to find a way up out of here. He really invested some time, some money, and some game into me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shout out to Sad. You know what I mean? A lot of respect for him outside in the streets, yo. He's a good nigga to me.
Nah, you hear about growing up in Philly, you hear a lot about Sad Eye on the court. I got a chance to see him play, not seeing him play in high school and all that stuff at the peak of, I'm sure, of his career, but when he got older, I started seeing him and just started seeing how good he was and how he was revered, especially down y'all way, right? North Philly. And then this whole city. Like he had respect and getting to see, like you saw where the respect came from. But I was always impressed with how he carried himself. Like I watch people how they carry themselves, how they conduct themselves around other people. Very quiet, humble dude. You wouldn't even know that he could play ball, and you know what I mean, he had the respect that he had from a lot of people. But shout out to Sad for sure. But it's always interesting to hear like you coming from, and I know you and I know the part, but just being that person, that giving person, and you saying coming from a place where it wasn't frowned upon to ask for help or to ask for something, and then it was given a community, taking care of community. And you see a lot of things in this city, especially the city of Philadelphia. You see a lot of things now and it doesn't feel like it's the same. It don't the love, the authentic behavior, the connection don't feel the same. What do you think attributes to that? If I'm correct at all with that belief.
I think the internet has a lot to do with us not intertwining with each other as much as we used to.
Mm-hmm.
You relied on your friend for a laugh, not your phone.
Right.
You relied on somebody to tell you a joke or your girlfriend to come over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now you FaceTime and you feel like your girlfriend there. You know what I mean? But when you said not together, I feel that in the streets. And I was going to say the only thing I feel when Philly together is when the Eagles play.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everybody on the same page that day.
Sports do that though. Sports and music.
Shout out to the Eagles, man. I mean, they put a city together. Unreal. Like Philly is so together when the Eagles is on.
Yeah.
And that's a great feeling. But to your point, back in the streets, it's just separated. And I think the internet and the phone has helped us lose attention for another human.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
AI thing and all this shit's
Mhm.
going on. We getting entertained by other things
Yeah.
other than your boy now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
some funny shit in the phone now. You know what I mean? So I do feel like it's separating. It's not like it was. You know, nobody can ask, can they borrow 2 eggs and a cup of sugar and a
Right.
pack of Kool-Aid? You can't. You know what I mean? That's just extinct nowadays. You know.
Well, let me ask you this. And this is what I believe. Philly is one of the toughest cities amongst our own.
Mm-hmm.
When I say we look like we ready to shoot down, and I don't mean literally, but tear down somebody that's from here, opposed to you'll give love to somebody from somewhere else and this and that, but it's just like I felt that, and being an athlete and just having a different type of love in Toronto than Philly. But it's times where I don't walk down the street and, man, hey, I done bust your ass, you bum ass. Like that type of talk where somewhere else that would never happen. Like you take care of your own. And I know that's our upbringing. Like even playing, we play down the hill, we play down Mallory, or we play at Hank or whatever. You got the hecklers.
Hmm.
And that's who we are.
Hmm.
But it's just like it's something where I'll be like, yo, this is contagious behavior sometimes, man, when you think about Philly and how they treat their own. What's your thoughts?
I'm that guy, so I'm with that, and that's fair because in sports it's fair, especially being from Diamond Street. I mean, you played in that gym before. You've been on the team with us, and my niggas talk shit about the same motherfuckers on the team.
Set me up. Set me up. That's another story from another day. Set me up that day.
But and this is Philly too, right? This you gonna laugh at this because you know this for sure that it be CR talking shit on the court. It be a nigga that can't play a fucking lick, grinding you to the fucking floor, yo.
Yeah.
And you put CR in the game, and I'm just saying that's Philly.
I got a vivid memory of that.
That's Philly though.
Yeah.
That's Philly. It'd be the fat man. What's the guy? What's my man name? Rel Latrell. He grind shit up 16th
Where?
Street. He always with Rashid.
Oh, LA.
What's his name?
LA.
What's his
LaRon.
name? LaRon. That's my man. We're gonna edit
that's
all
all
that.
right,
But
yeah.
hypothetically, what I'm saying is like a LaRon, somebody that really don't give a fuck about basketball. Their vice is to get you off
up
your
on the- yeah.
So that's Philly's move. And that's me too. You know,
Yeah.
Lord forbid I'm at a game with you, right?
Yup.
You know what I mean? I just gotta go. It's just
Yeah.
in me. And so that is true about Philly. And I don't knock that part of the game. I don't like it if it's personal.
Right.
But if it's just basketball and you can get under nigga's skin because he's shooting bad, and I'm all for that. You know what I mean?
But you hear it a lot, right? You hear it, like even in the music thing and just talk about the internet, but I'm not in the music game, but you hear a lot of people when they talk about Philly, it's disjointed. Like people don't come together to help and push each other or promote each other or betterment each other. Like stuff like that. It's like, is that just our culture? Is that is that really the real reputation? Because again, you gotta be tough to come from this city. This city, you gotta be tough-minded. You gotta have, I don't give a fuck bone in your body. You gotta have all of these things in order to make it out. And I'm sure it's like that in different hoods and different cities, but Philly, it stands out.
Definitely. I mean, me living in Arizona or in Vegas or all these places, right?
Mm-hmm.
You say you from Philly, man. Some people walk away from you. Some people don't want nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What they do know is you ain't no punk right
Yeah.
away. They know it, this motherfucker. You know what I mean? They know you ain't a punk, but we got a sting on us that's like they grimy, they gutter, they hard, like they'll take your things. And I've been accused of that being living in Oakland. Like I got with my man in Oakland. Shout out to T, Marketing Kings. And he told the boy, he said, man, he from Philly. And he said, hey, man, I don't trust them niggas, man. Philly grimy and this and that. And T eventually told me, but me and T wound up being really good friends still to this day. But that's the perception when you say Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Lord forbid you our skin color.
Yep.
And then, like they said, leaving out of Philly, you come out of here with an attitude that's unreal. Like you already ready for everything. And it is a Philly thing. And I don't know if it's a good or bad, but it's definitely a Philly thing, man.
Yeah. I don't, you never say what somebody is and where they from is bad, but it definitely pigeonholed you. Because there's times where I remember going to Toronto and you talked about your experience in Toronto, which is very accurate, but the Canadian people were super polite. And I'm coming in there, I'm young, I'm not trustworthy just because of coming from Philly. And now you're in the NBA. So you're told not to trust nobody because everybody wants something from you. So you standoffish. But I'm sitting there and I'm listening and I'm talking to people. Why are you like that? Why don't you speak? Or why don't you smile? And I'm sitting there like, I don't have nothing not to smile about. I don't have anything. There's no danger here. I can say hello. Or if you say hello to me, I ain't gotta look at you like, what you speaking to me for? You know me? Like, so it's one of those things where our attitude sometimes keeps us so pigeonholed because of the perception of where we come from, where everybody's not on that type time. Everybody's not looking at you because they want to do something to you.
Very true.
Or they don't like you. Sometimes they're interested.
Interesting.
Maybe they want to come over and say hi.
Mhm.
Maybe you got boogie in your nose or something, and they want to tell you. You know what I mean? And us not really being receptive all the time. And I had to learn that the older I get. The older I got, and I'm cool now. Like I'm like, all right. And I'm even here in Philly. Hey, what's going on, man? You need anything? Da, da, da. Where I would never do that before because that's just not that wasn't our makeup. So it's just one of those parts we talk about change and you just talk about different environments. Philly is one of them, but you also you hoop. And one of the unique things about you, you got a chance to travel a lot as a youngster. Like before, you traveled much more than I did as a
Playing
youngster
at Grat.
than I did.
Right.
So what was your experience and how did those experiences playing, being part of a powerhouse team and a powerhouse school with great reputation historically in the history of Philadelphia, what was it like playing, traveling, but still being that boy from the hood, that kid from the hood that had to go back home and go back to the essence?
The experience at Gratz, again, we told like my ninth grade year was Rasheed Wallace senior year.
Mhm.
So the school is off the hook. I mean, Nike in there. I mean, everybody's coming to see this 7-foot guy, Rasheed Wallace.
Yep.
I mean, the school is off. And at this time, we got lunch in the hallways. Anybody that's at Gratz know what I'm talking about. Shout out. We can eat in the hallway, and some of us we can leave out and go to Kentucky Fried and come back. Anyhow, Gratz was just a party, and Rasheed Wallace was the headline. And I didn't get on the team till I got in the 11th grade. But the notion that Ellaby was taking these group of guys across the country and winning basketball, it was something I wanted to do so bad in my life. I mean, I didn't want to do nothing more than make Gratz basketball team.
Mhm.
I mean, so bad because I wanted to get on the plane. You know what I mean? I wanted to go and be with those guys. These guys are winning everywhere.
Yeah.
And so when I finally got on the team, our first trip was to Alaska. We won the Alaska shootout. Crazy thing, y'all was there a week before us. Villanova won the Alaska
Word.
shootout. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Y'all won the Alaska shootout.
No,
Am I right?
we ain't win.
Y'all,
We lost.
all right, we
Yeah.
won it. And that was the first trip LB ever took me on. And when you asking me, what I learned is how to conduct myself, how to represent my family,
Yeah.
how to not look embarrassing in front of people, and straighten up my clothes. Don't look sloppy. Present yourself right. Tie your shoes. Make sure your hair intact. Those things came into play where there was no adult telling me that. There was
Right.
nobody encouraging me to say, "Fats, pull your pants up and stop being a jerk and straighten up and be polite." Gratz had ironed so much of that out because he was already structured with those players before I even got here.
Right.
And ninth grade, me seeing Rasheed Wallace be the first person in the gym, the first person in the cross country runs, and the first person at the track meets. That was just so motivating and inspiring. You know what I mean? Like he the best dude in the country right now, and this dude's still.
Yeah.
So Gratz had taught me a lot about hard work because if Rasheed could do it, then all right, you know what I mean? I
Mhm.
know I had to work hard. But then on the road, Gratz had such a nice funding that we didn't stay at a Motel 6. We stayed at a high-end place too
Okay.
that fed us well. And you know what I mean? Now you need to learn how to eat with your knife and your fork.
Yeah.
You need to make sure you're sitting up properly.
Yeah.
Don't embarrass us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like you said, we was a powerhouse. We wasn't just a team coming through. Everybody coming to see when Gratz play.
Mhm.
And so he taught me a lot about conduct, how to present myself. You know what I mean? And he done a great job with a lot of young men with that.
Yeah.
And we'll get into Ellaby because today, to me, he don't get enough appreciation for how many urban young black men he helped give a chance to go to college.
Mhm.
Now, what they done with that, that's out of his hands.
Right.
But if we can go down a list of what Ellaby has done for this city with young black men,
Mhm.
you had to say, you know what I mean? You had
Yeah.
to say thank you to Ellaby, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he a good friend of yours,
Oh, man.
that's your man.
I met him. I met Mr. L. He and my dad were friends. And I met his son, and we all played in the same leagues together. And first time I got a chance to play under Mr. L was the youth games here in Philadelphia. And he coached us. And it was the first time we were going to breakfast. It was like no meat before the game. And I'm like, damn. So it was like a structure, it's an understanding, the health benefits, all these type of things where it's just like, he always, like to your point, introduced what it was, introduced new things to us. He had a structure, he had discipline, and he's my pop's main man friend. So it was big. But when just seeing how he lifted that program up. He lifted that program up, and to your point, man, so many black young men, black families, he impacted. He impacted. It's big time, man. Like you said, you gotta give it up to Mr. L. We definitely gonna have a
We
segment
definitely got to talk
about
about
Mr.
Ellaby.
L for
Yeah,
sure,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Big time in
yeah,
the city.
yeah, big time. I mean, we got a record of not losing to a public league team for like 106 games straight.
Yeah,
And that's just what's so important about that is we live in an urban setting, Philadelphia setting. We're not playing Smo Joes in this urban setting. So I'm proud of that record because we play a lot of good teams and we was just beating people down so bad all the
yeah.
time that Ellaby, like you said, we're gonna spend some time on
Yeah.
Ellaby, man.
Now y'all set the precedence of excellence for like with a high school program, not just the high school basketball, like a program,
Program.
because it was known if you play for Gratz, you had certain things you had to do. You had to behave a certain way. You had to looked a certain way, whether it was running with the cross country team, whether it was where you traveled, whether it was you played together. Like it was just you played a certain way. You had a certain thing about you. And Gratz, it was a lot of high school teams, especially in my high school time, those 4 years. So but yeah, it was big time to go to grass. That's why I asked, like, you being a part of that program, and then after that, you still had to come home and take out the trash. Moms wasn't playing. You was treating like a superstar on the road, but you come back here, it's back to work again.
What it does is give you some baseline for where you at in life.
Yeah,
When he lets you experience these other cities and see how other people live, it lets you know, well, this is where I'm at.
yeah,
You know what I mean? If I'm gonna get anywhere, he's giving me an opportunity to visually see I can become better than what I am.
yeah,
So, like you said, he got us in Alaska, fancy hotel, we doing this and that. Fast got to go back to Diamond Street. I got a trophy in my hand and I had 20 points, and my mom said, yeah, put that shit up and go clean the you know what I mean? There was no affection or love or no care for me being good at basketball in my house.
right.
They could care less about any of that. But Ellaby, he's the projects gave me the baseline to let me know this where you at in life, Fats.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, be honest, this where it's at. And Ellaby and the team don't make you feel poor.
Yeah,
Marvin, Jerry, everybody from
we
a
all here.
bad
Hell
environment,
yeah.
right? But it lets you know, look, this is where you at. And I'm exposing y'all guys to things.
But this way you don't have to stay.
Yeah, you ain't got to be stuck here, man.
Right.
And that's why we got to applaud him because he got a lot of people an opportunity for college just to get out of here, yo.
Yeah,
There's just so much in just getting out of Philly for a year and playing ball or being in
yeah,
Texas or anywhere outside of this. And Ellaby can't hold your hand after that. But the opportunity he gave out to the young men, I couldn't. It's countless, right?
hmm
And you could probably speak on this. Ellaby word was so strong. It ain't just his guys he took care of. You know what I
that's
mean?
it.
Ellaby put a word in for you. You good. So
Yeah.
it ain't just his basketball guys that got Ellaby's assistance.
hmm
You know what I mean? It's a whole nother group that ain't on paper that Ellaby done helped out because he whispered. He didn't write it down. That guy didn't play for us. That guy wasn't with us.
Yep.
Ellaby just seen him and called so and put a word in for him. So
He's a presence, man.
Ellaby is a
A
fucking and
huge
I got a great relationship with him to the day, man. We still talking. Me and you gonna hopefully get him on our show
Yeah.
and do our thing. But
a huge presence, man. Again, being at Belfield Rec, being around, like you said, it's just not Gratz players. He showed love and showed discipline, the same type of energy that he gave his basketball teams. He gave that to every child. You know what I mean? And again, I say not just child's families,
families.
because a lot of moms needed that didn't have that.
Right.
Right? A lot of moms, a lot of fathers needed that support.
Fucking
You know
right.
what I mean? So
Right.
like I said, when my pop was there 100%. Everybody know my pop. But for him to say, go ahead, Mr. L, I trust you. It was one of a kind. And the same thing with his son, Dave Ellaby, who went to Gratz for a year and then going to AFS. Me and him became really good friends, and we had similar paths of going to a private school, leaving the public school, going to private school with a different environment. So that exposure. So yeah, it was a special time. But Mr. L for sure. But definitely a privilege and an honor to be around Mr. L. But after that, you went to college. You went to college. Where did you go first?
Palm Springs, California.
Palm Springs. Was that college or
College, JUCO.
JUCO? And how did you get there?
Ellaby, we had played in foot stop.
Mhm.
Stop up County Mac or something. We had an outside summer league, and I did really well against Roman with Donnie Carr. Shout out to Donnie and a few other good players was on that team. But I done well against them outside and had some big dunks and stuff like that. And the school came to me and he said, "Man, we want you. We'll take care of you. You don't really have to have no money. You can live with us, but we want you to play with us." And I wasn't a big recruit. Marvin Jarrett had all the attention. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I was more under the rug, but I didn't have SAT scores either, so I could go to JUCO. But what I'll tell you about Palm Springs to add on to what Ellaby done to me leaving out of the projects, now I'm going to college in Palm Springs, California. It taught me class. You know what I mean? I seen wealthy people act normal.
Mhm.
They didn't show off a nickel of their money. Where I'm from, if I had that much, it's taught to present that differently.
Right.
You know, my roommate, his mom worked for Nike. And he would never even budge
Right.
to act like he had a dollar.
Right. Right.
So it was just teaching me class.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to make noise to have money.
Yeah.
If you got money, you just got money, man.
Mhm.
And it was exposing me to all of these things around these wealthy people. You know what I mean? I didn't have much, but I was thankful to start seeing and understanding how they evolve and how they move. And it's such a golf town, you're around people that earn money.
Mhm.
And then you realize you don't have to, that was class to me. You know what I mean? That was teaching me that you don't have to show it like that. Where people really, really rich, they don't act like that.
Yeah.
And Palm Springs gave me that lesson to the best. You know what I mean?
So you got that from experience at basketball. So basketball provided you another avenue of just seeing how people lived and another environment.
Another environment,
No, that's deep.
a high
That's deep.
environment.
Yeah.
You know what I
No,
mean?
that's deep.
Where I was a little coached from Ellaby for a weekend or two for
Mhm.
basketball.
Yeah.
I wasn't coached for the entire year. You know what I mean? You got to be on your good behavior all the time now. You know what I mean? But with Ellaby, it's like, long as he there, we straight. He go away, we can act a fool. There was like, you alone, and you just got to get your life together
Yeah.
and become an adult.
It forced maturity.
It does,
And
quick.
that's the part about maturity. Like, all right, I know, and I alluded to this, being a pro athlete, you never turn it off. And once you know you got a goal or you got an agenda, that don't turn off until you reach that. And then you go on to the next. So I'm here at Palm Springs for this, for this, for this. I can't fuck around.
I
I
can't.
can't, I can't mess around. I can't go back to it. And now I'm gonna disappoint Mr. L and put his name on the list. My family, put everybody on the line. And I got more responsibility for just myself. My actions is going to impact everybody around it. And that's deep. And that's something for people got to realize that once you get to that point. That's that mature piece. That's
Mhm.
that adulthood. That's
Mhm.
where you're different from being a kid,
Mhm.
where it's acceptable or
Mhm.
it's excused here
Mhm.
and there,
Mhm.
to now we can't mess up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So patience, because you start realizing who's really in your corner at times too. Like a lot of people fade to black. They say some things that's out of pocket. You know what I mean? So, but again, it's interesting because we know so many people that's in the exact same boat or had the exact same situation who ain't panning out, who ain't doing this together, who still don't communicate and whatever, and they never talk to each other again. So it's a real thing, and it's based on relationship.
We got a great relationship,
Yeah,
man.
it's because it's a real
It's
relationship
real.
where I think at the end of the day you can communicate, you can talk it out. There's so many people that I didn't talk to that's scared to say something to me because of what they're fear of missing, especially at the height of things when I was playing. And you have people that hung on, you have people,
Yeah.
naysayers, and all these people. We know we call them here in Philly, but we you gotta separate yourself from them. Because them people right there, you know they ain't there for the right reasons. Mr. Kitchen, I was talking about Dennis Scott. Mr. Kitchen used to always tell me, everybody who come to your birthday party, not a well wisher. Some of
Mm.
them just want a piece of the cake.
Damn.
You know what I
That's
mean?
strong.
So yeah, he used to drop me some knowledge
That's
on me, man.
strong.
So,
They
but
just come to get a slice.
get his slice of the cake and they gone. Everybody ain't here to wish you well, man. So that's the thing as well. But I think fast is just one of them things where knowing where you came from and knowing where I came from, my upbringing, your upbringing, and how we just stay connected and how it worked, how this shit worked, and how for me, I appreciate it.
I mean, where I'm from, you getting an MBA it was too unreal. And you came home and you bought a new Range Rover, and I just was such a high peak of my life because at this time I'm like your youngest, biggest fan. As like my cousin, I'm like, I can touch you, I can call you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And you so close to the fucking journey. It just was so crazy.
Yeah.
And we'll get into this about your work ethic, but I really knew you was going pro when that summer everybody clubbed but you.
Hmm. Yeah.
Everybody was on Delaware Ave at Gotham or
Uh, eighth floor, ninth floor, whatever.
everybody on Delaware Ave, Bahama
Kathmandu,
Breeze or all
Bahama,
of
Bahama Bay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody on Spring Garden. And I remember seeing some of the guys, no names, but I remember seeing the guys who was in your class and supposed to get in there, and
Mhm.
everybody partied.
Yeah.
And I would call you, and you're like, man, this is my third shoot around the day.
Yeah.
And I really respected your work and how serious you took it versus these guys too, who don't want to party,
Hmm.
right? Especially if your name going in the draft and you popping in Philly, and there's a chance you might get in there. Who don't want to go to the club and see some girls and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You always took it so serious, and I swear, like if I had to tell somebody, like you invested to get what you got.
Hmm.
I watched you invest them hours and
Yeah.
time. You invested a lot into that. You know what I mean? Instead of saying I'm 6'6", I'm nice, I can handle, I'm good.
Right.
Nah, you was still going in there 3 times a day to make sure your jump shot was cash.
Yeah.
And dude, you know more than me. That NBA is about if you can make it. If you can't make a jump shot or a shot, yeah, you can go ahead.
Hmm.
And that's quick too.
Yeah.
Like quick. Let
Here,
you miss some shit for 4 or 5 games in a row. Yeah,
here
okay.
today, gone tomorrow.
And so your effort and your game, sure you had some bad games, but I got a lot of memories of you having accurate games.
Yeah.
Not saying you got 50 points, but whatever you had, 15 points, you shot 7 for 9, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
you didn't have a lot of room to get 30 shots up and fuck around with your shot.
Yeah.
Get out of the ball. I gotta put this motherfucker.
Yeah.
I gotta put this motherfucker in right now.
Yeah, one shot. But it's funny you say that. So college, everything taught and lend to that work ethic. But I remember me and Cat, Catino Mobley, my brother, it was the time that Aaron and Eddie got drafted.
Aaron McKee and Eddie
Aaron,
Jones.
yeah, Aaron
Okay.
McKee, Eddie Jones. And I mean, it was the hottest thing. Temple was popping. All you would hear is Eddie and Aaron, Eddie and Aaron. I think 1994. I think that was the year he got drafted, 1994. And that time, everybody throwing parties for them.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Jones draft party, Aaron McKee, like they got the Land Cruisers and the matching Land Cruisers and this, that. Then they get the Benzes. But me and Kat was on the sideline really watching. We would work out with them at John Arnett's down Gustine Lake, had a workouts, and they was dope. And it's funny because they're not even that much older than me, but they felt so much older than I was. And we would listen to the radio and they would advertise it. Party tonight, such and such, they gotta be there. That's when me and Kat get in the car, go the opposite way, go to the gym. Cause we knew while everybody's partying, everybody going down there, we gonna get better. And that was like a strategic part. We used to really do that. Like it come on the radio, yo, they party tonight. We going to the GA, Germantown Academy. I had the key there. 12 o'clock at night. We go, what time they gonna probably get there? Probably like 11:30. We get to the gym, 11:30. They finish at 2. We going, now our work is done. So that was intentional. Like stuff like that, that work ethic, we all had it. But situations like that, because we was inspired by them. Kat loved Eddie. Loved Eddie. I admired Aaron, just knowing Aaron. And, Eddie, of course, but Aaron was more like my style, like
Mm-hmm.
kind of like quiet,
Mm-hmm.
real chill. And I really admire, and my pop really was a big fan of Aaron because Aaron was a good baseball player as well.
Mm.
So all those things, like growing up, like it was intentional. The work ethic was there, but a lot of times you got to find other ways to motivate yourself when you're just doing something over and over. And that was a part of it, having people to look up to. And that time too, we had a lot of great players. She went to the league right after that. This is my peer. We grew up together, playing on the same team. Then you had Big Mark Jackson. You had a lot of these guys, man. Then
Malik.
Malik Rose went to the league in '96, and playing with Kerry Kittles, he went. Like all these guys was inspiration. And it's like, damn, it's a reality. Like you said, like, yo, this is a reality. I can do this, man. So that was a big part. But like you said, to lend to that work ethic, a lot of it was in me, but it was intentional how we did it and when we did it and where we did it. Like we would do a lot of things intentionally. Cat was he was my partner in crime with that. And then we got to college. Jay Lawson was with me, and we used to do it like we stayed in that gym, man. We stayed in that gym. That was our home. And that was the only way that's the only way it would make me feel good throughout the day. If I ain't do that, my day was off. You
If
know
you
what
ain't
I mean?
put no work in, you weren't right.
I wasn't right, dog.
Right.
If I ain't get up and do what I was supposed to do, if I ain't go to sleep, and after a workout, there's times where you've been in the gym with me on a late night, right? So that was intentional, though, but that was good times too. That was good times, but it all lends to I think who we are as people.
So I'll tell you, right? Because I'll talk about that to like just my friends alone. That when you was allowing me to practice with you, right? You would say, "Fast, come up, let's work out." Or no, no, not come up. Meet me at Gustine. Or, Fast, I'm coming to get you.
Hmm.
Right? I come get you. You take me to Gustine. He might have a second one at Penn, and then we break up. And you say, "Fast, I'm going GA tonight." And I just remember I wasn't afforded that ability.
Hmm.
I had to figure out how the fuck I'm gonna eat tonight.
Hmm.
As little as that sound, that's really something in my everyday structure of like, I can't go up here with Al for 3 hours. I ain't gonna have nothing to when I get home. It ain't gonna be in the refrigerator when I get
Right.
home. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like you both know times you'd be like, Fast, come on. And I just wasn't afforded that luxury or ability to work again without eating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like you had two parents where you knew at least a plate gonna be there for you. And for me, it was like it wasn't consistent at home
Yeah. No,
to
I get it.
to keep. You know what I mean? Investing like that, it wasn't consistent at home. So
No, it's funny because to that point, like nobody know, but you don't say nothing. You don't be like, yo, dog, we gotta get something to eat or whatever. But I think about me, it's two different stories because you can take it for granted, knowing I had food in the fridge and my mom and pop, whatever. I ain't even care if I ate. That's that time where I'm like, I gotta play. I ain't going. I eat when I eat. You know what I mean? It's those things, but it's easier for me to say that because I know whenever I eat, it's gonna be there.
mm,
I ain't got to go out there and hunt it. I
mhm.
ain't got to. You know what I mean? So it's different, but it's that communication because if we together, you're gonna eat together.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right,
But
right.
it's a lot. It's a lot of growth. It's a lot of things that we figure out about one another and again continue to grow. That growth piece is the key, dog. Like we got to keep growing. With and basketball has afforded us to do good things in life, whether it's go to Spain or
Oh,
live in Canada or
mhm.
just have conversations, have tears, and sit there and watch me cry about certain things and losses and wins. So I think at the end of the day, like this platform again, I was tapping in our platform. How we gonna discuss it? It's gonna relate. A lot of people gonna relate to the story. They're gonna relate to the topics. They're gonna relate to our opinions in this thing of sports, and it's just our opinions. Some of it's fact when it's coming from me, of course, but you not so much. But but yeah, that's one of the parts. And I mean, again, we talked about change, and this world is changing to a degree, dog. Even setting up this equipment about the technology piece and how we're told that we missed the boat when it came to all this technology and stuff. It's not part of our generation. It's all changing, dog. But I think we right in the spot to catch up quick.
I think we're here to help people out too, because
That's your makeup, dog. That's the makeup of us.
help a motherfucker
Just the
out.
helping, man.
That's just how he is,
That's what
man.
we've seen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
We selfless.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I think that's a beautiful part about you too. Because I asked you that, but I know that about you. I've seen you put the camps on. I've come down because come down and speak to the kids. I've seen you put things together. I've seen you take money and give it to people.